King talk their thoughts about it. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. Do men choose the woman they want versus the woman they need? I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Luis first. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Um, I think that at first, I think it depends on what type of age, and maturity this man is at. I think that most men do pick the women that they want before they pick the women that they need. And I think that just comes as a byproduct of maturity, age, and obviously wisdom, and obviously kind of navigating. But I think for the most majority of men out there who um, haven't really reached their pinnacle of success or haven't reached their they're probably most likely picking the woman that they need, the woman that they need that will align with them and build. I think it's a smaller segment of men who are picking the women that they want because they have the access and they are in a certain stage of their life. I think that I think there's two different categories. I don't think they're all lumped in one. I think men, choose at first the woman that they want, but some kind of backtrack regarding because they realize they don't fit well into their program or in their life, and as a byproduct, they end up kind of going back to the woman that they really truly needed in the first place. So, how are you?
All right, sir. Here, what are your thoughts about it, sir? Do men choose the woman they want versus the woman they need?
It's a really good question. So, I think a couple of different things. One, I think men should pick the woman that they want. I think if a man picks a woman based off of his need of her, he becomes less attractive to her, and that ultimately hurts the relationship. So, a man's job is to find a woman that he wants, that he desires, that he can come home to, particularly if his aim is to be monogamous. The woman has to be the apple of his eye so that he doesn't go around cheating, right? And then from that one, he develops a relationship, and she shows her value to him. And based off of that value she shows, he begins to rely on her, and then that need is developed. So initially, it should be want, and then it morphs into to need later on.
That's interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, Sean Antonio. What are your thoughts about it, sir? You're on mute, just so you know. Yeah, if you got a phone call, just come back out and come back in. And probably, all right. Cloud Jones. What about you, sir?
I mostly agree with what Luis and Sir Hill both said. I think that it really depends on the stage you're at in life and what your options are, what's available to you, which will definitely determine whether you're choosing what you want and what you need. But I also agree with Sir Hill saying that you should kind of go for what you want. And I don't think that what you want always has to be something that doesn't align with what you need. Like I think that if you're in the right space in your life, you're gonna want what aligns with your purpose and what aligns with your goals in life. So yeah, I definitely think it varies based off of the stage you're in. I think a younger man who may have less options in certain ways, he's gonna choose what he wants as soon as it comes along. But usually that doesn't work out, and then with wisdom and age and understanding, you start seeking out what's gonna align with your goals and your program. So yeah.
Okay. Sean Antonio, let's come back to you.
All right. I love everything that they just said. The only thing, right? I agree that that should be the answer, but I think that we are the outliers. I think that most guys don't have the wherewithal to think like what you guys just said. They don't care. They don't give a damn. They just get what they want. They get what they can get. They never progress to the level that you all just spoke about. So they end up with what they want, and they can even convince themselves that that's what they need. So I don't think most guys get what they need.
Go ahead, Trigger Mike. Like you wanted to hop in there.
Oh yeah. Do men choose the women they want versus the women they need? I think this is more of a story about the immature man versus the mature man. And age is no guarantee of maturity. So I'm not talking about a matter of age. What I'm really talking about is somebody's progression through life, right? Since in this particular time, this day and age, we've scrapped the courtship process. So now we're on the dating process. And unfortunately, somebody's going to have to be practiced. So men mature through practice. You got to get your heart broken. You got to go through those hard relationships to understand what you need. The irony in the situation is that when you're immature, you don't really know what you want. You're subject to fall for your superficial desires. Oh, she got a big ass. Oh, she got some big ass tits. That's how men talk when they are immature. The irony in that is that as you mature, everything you need in a woman, you need her to be in a wife, what you aspire her to be for your children, and taking care of the homestead, it becomes what you want. She has all your needs, but she's more attractive because of her stability, her elegance, everything that you looked over in the past as you become become a mature man. A woman that fulfills your needs becomes what you genuinely want. So unfortunately, what we're seeing in today's society is too many men are jumping the gun while they're immature, giving, falling victim to cuffing a woman due to their superficial desires, which are their wants, and then complaining about that woman later. So that when you are a mature man, the woman that fulfills all of those, boxes of a mature woman, that actually becomes what you want. You will rejoice in that choice 1,000 times over. But if you choose a woman that you want, so to speak, while you are immature, you will live to regret it.
Okay. Humble Dad, what are your thoughts about it, sir?
I'm pondering. I think it's a dope question for sure. What comes to mind is that the initial point would have to be a want, because approaching a woman, you're approaching her because of what it is that you physically are attracted to, and you want her based on her physical attributes. Not until you are able to converse with her, and also have an understanding of what it is that you even need as a man, will you be able to say, well, I need her, right? So to do the verses, it's always going to be the want over the need, because you're not going to be able to know that you need her before you want her. And I'll keep it as that.
I like that. Chicago Rilla, what are your thoughts about it, sir?
Man, the brothers, the brothers have already waxed poetic over it. And I agree with a lot of what they said. But I think, speaking from a general perspective, most males choose the woman they want. The grown man chooses the woman that he needs, right? So I do agree that it's in layers and stages. When you're a young man, you're thinking about the aesthetics, you're thinking about how she looks. And then let me pre-qualify this too. We all get who we qualify for. We all get who we qualify for. So even when you're choosing want versus need, you're choosing from the batch of women that you qualify for, right? And then most times, especially as a young man, you don't know yourself. You don't know your purpose. You're not planning your work. You're not working your plan. Most people, and again, to what Trigger Mike said, we scrap the courting process. If courting was still an intricate part of relationship building and pair bonding and mating, we would see more couples and families being built based on need. Most people today are not thinking about that. Most men are choosing based on who they qualify for. Most men are choosing based on who they qualify for. And then you know what we do? We convince ourselves we can make it work. I'll make it work. That's just my initial thoughts, bro.